Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Bearded Respect, number 169.
What's up, everyone?
How you doing, my friend?
169. Nice.
Well,
are we missing someone?
Since we're Jason-less tonight, you want to welcome all these fine people to the chat?
I sure will. First one we got in here tonight is Baker. Baker's going to be at work, but thanks for stopping by. He dropped the hashtag TBR Nation.
Woo!
Nice.
How you doing, my friend?
And we got John Fox. Foxy, what's up?
How you doing?
Trace Amigos Talk Show. Thanks for stopping in. Brad Glacier, what's up? My Nebraska neighbor. And we got Jeff Harmon. Thank you for stopping in.
Hello there.
Flaming Beard. What is up? Thanks for stopping. There's brother Amber. Thanks for stopping by, Amber.
No way.
Jacob, what's up, brother?
Hey, brother.
Hope things are going well for you. Christina Lero. Hey, thanks for stopping by.
Hello.
And Jay's got the right idea. Hashtag community. Yes, absolutely. Thanks, Jay.
Hello.
Appreciate you. Mark Johnson, what's up? My other neighbor from Idaho.
Hello.
Hope you're wearing clothes, brother. Rick and Frack. Bob and Terry down in Florida. What is up?
Hello, neighbor.
David, the Pud Rhodes from Texas. What's up, brother?
Uh,
Michael Romy. Our brother from
Hello there,
Ohio.
children.
What is up?
Welcome.
That's right. What's up, your respect family? Let's go. There's E from Baltimore or Florida. One of the two. You'll find him there.
Say hello to my little friend.
Randy R, what's up? I think you're up in Michigan.
Put that cookie down now.
Thanks for stopping in. Hey, brother Amber. There's Kev, the other half.
Kev.
What's up, Kev? Thanks for stopping in.
Let's do it.
Jeffrey with the respect. What is up?
All right.
He's listening in the background. Appreciate it.
Thanks,
William Shepard, what's up, man?
Woo!
Thank you for stopping in. Oh, there's babysitter Jess. What's up?
You're okay in my book.
3D, what is up? Good evening. Thanks for stopping in. Appreciate you.
No way.
Becky just flew in for Melissa's show, and boy, are her arms tired. Ha ha ha. What's up, Becky? Thanks for stopping. And let's see, anyone else? Let's see. Jeffrey, you owe Scott a penny every time that tune plays in your head.
To do the binds.
Ray Smokey, I don't know if I got you earlier, Ray, but thank you for stopping in. Appreciate you. There's Santa.
Can I say except you're welcome?
How you doing, Santa Tom?
Santa, thanks for stopping in. Flaming Beard, any chances of cologne? I don't know. Yeah, shout out to the Shed Gang. I was in the shed. Brad's in the shed.
Got him.
And who else? I forget. There was 3 of us in the shed this week. There's the other half of Flaming Beards. Here's Ronnie. What's up, Ronnie?
What did he say?
Yep, great to see everyone in here. We got 34 in here right now.
Yeah,
Appreciate everyone.
Tonight, we appreciate it.
There's Kay. Kay did a very nice thing for me this week. I really appreciate it in the next 2 weeks. Jason is at the pole dancing classes again. Yes. In fact, I think it's a competition tonight that he's doing. So
Hello.
everyone put in good thoughts for Jason and his pole dancing tonight.
Yep.
Nope.
Hey, Melissa. Sorry I couldn't catch your live earlier
Thanks.
today. Thanks for stopping in.
Oh, the missus caught that one. I caught some of Tres Amigos.
Okay. Yeah, I was at work. I came right from work to here, so I did not have a chance.
Well, that was, I think, the first time I caught him live.
What's up, Frankie J? Appreciate you stopping in.
How you doing, Frankie?
Hello there.
Warren K. What's up, Warren? Jay wants to be the best smelling man in town with Mastermind. Yep. The clothes wear Mark. Yeah. Well, there we go. Randy's from the west side of the mitten.
Yes, I had to be quick tonight.
Yeah.
He's like doing a rapid fire of hellos.
Man, Jay's vaccine earlier. Yeah, nice. Okay. All right. What's the name of that tune? I don't know.
The tune for our show?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually comes from Epidemic Sound. It's basically a YouTube creator's copyright-free song.
What's up, Chris True North?
How you doing?
Whoa, there's
Not that guy, pal,
Vato.
trust me. You're not that guy.
Thanks for stopping in, Vato. Yes, hit that like button if you wouldn't mind.
Yes, definitely hit that like button. It looks like you've got a cup of coffee. Looks like you have a cup of coffee coming.
Oh, I do? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. This one?
Yeah, that one.
Jay, I appreciate that. Thank you so
I
much.
appreciate the super chat.
Yep. Here's to you, Jay. Cheers.
I should have like a button just for super chats.
That's a good idea. There's brother Phil. Phil, what's up? Bearded on a budget. Thanks for stopping in.
Yes.
All right. Any announcements? Anything going on in Milwaukee?
I don't think so. There's a charity event, but I don't think I'm gonna go to it. It's in the Chicago area. Or trying to think of the charity. St. Patrick's.
You just don't like that Chicago area, do you?
No, it's just nobody else from my chapter was going down.
Oh, okay.
I was like, I don't know if I want to ride down to Chicago by myself.
Yeah. Yeah. NFL draft is happening in Green Bay tonight.
Yes, it is. Woohoo!
Cam Ward was number 1 overall.
Go, Pat, go!
Yeah, that's no big secret.
Travis Hunter was number 2 in a trade to Jacksonville. And Packers pick like 23rd, and I think somewhere down there in the 20s. I can't remember what number, but I think they'll trade out of it. I think they'll trade down to the 2nd round or something.
Probably unless there's someone great sitting there.
Yeah. We'll see.
I'm going on my what was this, the 22nd year of waiting for a receiver?
Yeah, the last one was picked in 2002, Javon Walker.
Yeah.
And honestly, I mean, I don't think there's just a good enough receiver at that pick that they have today that they couldn't just get in the 2nd or 3rd or 4th round. So. Jacob, tips for Jason's pole dancing. Nice.
Oh, my Lord.
Appreciate you, Jacob. Thank you for the super chat.
Yeah, thank you.
Sorry, Jeffrey. Coffee in the morning, coffee in the evening with my Beer Respect coffee mug that you can get on the Beer Respect.
Oh, I got the Packers today.
Yep. All right, let's bring our guest on.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, hit this button, huh?
You want me to do it?
No,
There we go.
Welcome to the Bearded Respect.
Hello, how is everybody doing?
Great. So we'll get down to it. We start usually right away with 5 questions just as like an icebreaker, and then we kind of let the show go on its own from there. Kev, thank you so much for the $2 super chat.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
To Scott specifically for keeping the show running. Yes. All right, Scott Brown, Scotty B. Tell us your favorite toy as a child. What was that one toy that you always played with?
Well, as an older child, maybe 6, 7, maybe a Red Ryder BB gun.
Oh.
So rolling around with Grandpa, and they were a little bit country, and he was a trapper, so he would trap, fox and coyotes and skunks around the property and get rid of them, and I would always be out there shooting cans and shooting windows and getting in trouble, shooting things.
Shoot.
Yeah, the old classic, "Don't shoot your eye out" from
Yeah, don't shoot your eye out, kid.
the Christmas Story, right? That's what it was called.
Yep.
Awesome. So that's a first on our show, picking that one as a favorite toy.
Not a big toy, so to speak, but
Yeah, it's a toy.
in the right environment, and you're out where you can play with a toy like that. That's
Yeah.
stuff.
Absolutely. Born Bearded Dave, what's up? Thanks for stopping in.
Thanks for joining us.
Exactly, John. Just shoot your eye out. Nope, he's got both those eyes. So for everyone that's in the chat, for all of us, kind of like let us know what your company is.
So as far as the company, it's super new, and it happened real fast. I'll give you a little backstory, probably a little bit of rambling, but where it all started was just basically trying to save money on beard oils in general, because I was buying beard oil online. Just Google searching beard oils. I always like to support the small businesses and go to sites I've never visited before. Try some products I've never heard of, and of course, because I've always kind of had the beard going on, and so family and friends were giving me beard stuff for Christmas and just in general. And then I noticed that a lot of the best beard oils producers, beard products in general, they put their ingredients on them. So I would casually look at the ingredients, and I started noticing a trend that there's a lot of garbage in a lot of beard products. And thinking like, dang, is this healthy for me? Is it healthy for my skin? Healthy for my beard? And living in New Mexico, that's where we're at. It's here in New Mexico. Real dry, hot in the summer. It's cold in the winter. We kind of border the southern Colorado border, where we were in the base of the Rocky Mountains. So we get the cold weather and the hot weather, but zero humidity. So I'm always needing something in my beard. And so buying all the stuff, realizing that there's probably a cheaper way than just buying it all the time. So I started researching what's good for your beard, put my own stuff in my own beard. And then I bought a lot of the carrier oils, and just realized that you can put pretty much any oil in your beard to save money. And when that all started transpiring, then I got a little creative and started making something that I liked, making it smell the way I wanted it to smell. And that's how it started.
Okay. Did your business open this year or last year?
So last year we got the actual LLC. So I've been bottling it up for a few years, just for my own, have it in my pocket, share with my buddies and smell this and see what you like. My wife's like, dang, that smells good. So I've been experimenting, but actually last year, because I would always get I'd make up a batch for myself, a 5 ounce bottle or just a little jug. And I got to the point where I was thinking, people were liking it and they were intrigued by it. They're like, you should this is better than the stuff I got you for Christmas. You bottle that up and sell it. So light bulb comes on, and I'm thinking, dang, the beard market's huge, because there's a lot of products out there and there's a lot of competition. And so I started bottling it up and taking it around town to my buddies at the local barbershops. We hit a couple of arts and crafts festival type deals, and people were liking it. People were actually interested in it. And we just started bottling, figured out how to make labels, and was like, well, I'll try to sell some. So I sold a few bottles here and there, nothing major, and then just decided I could probably turn this into a thing. I enjoy making it. My little sidekick Parker here, he helps me. He helps me mix it up. He puts the labels on the bottles. It just became super interesting, and I realized that it can be family involved. It's not that difficult. I'm pretty passionate about it, and I need this stuff. And I know a lot of guys that do need this stuff as well. So I was handing out bottles and it just kind of spiraled from there. And then
Yeah.
taking advice and watching, videos, utilizing social media, watching videos about stuff that's interesting, like your guys' live streams and just random beard related social media type posts. And I was thinking, like, there's a big group of people, a big market for this. Why not? So I created kind of the LLC, kind of locked it in and made a website, and then just started. I haven't necessarily advertised, but started selling it on a higher level than just handing it out to buddies or dropping off a couple of bottles at the barber shop, and it kind of took off. So we're just rocking and rolling with it.
Cool. And so your sidekick joined us. Is it Parker, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Parker. I got to backtrack a little bit. And because your dad answered the first question, now we have to have you answer the first question. What is your favorite toy as a kid? When you were real little, what was your favorite toy you couldn't go without?
Probably Legos.
Legos, yeah.
That's a good one.
Regular Legos or like the themed ones, like Minecraft and Star Wars and
Star Wars themed.
Star Wars? Nice.
Cool.
So, Parker, you helped make the oils.
Yeah.
Is that something that kind of just came natural to you, or did you have to learn how to do it?
He showed me a little bit, but it isn't super hard.
Yeah. Have you made any of your own concoctions yet? No? Okay. That'll come later. Yeah. So, Scott, you mentioned that you're in New Mexico. What are some things that you guys like to do outside the beard world? Like, what are some hobbies for the family?
Well, that comes into play with the beard oil. Is a lot of our activities are outside. So the boys play sports. They play, year-round baseball.
Okay.
Boys, they both play basketball, football. So sports, we're always at a sports complex. We do a lot of jeeping, a little bit of lake stuff. Hike around in the mountains, which
nice.
Colorado, we're about an hour. We're about 40 minutes from the Colorado border.
Mm-hmm.
So we get up in the mountains, jeeping, riding razors, and pretty much anything. Some camping and things like that. When you're doing all these kind of events, it's zero humidity. You get dried out.
Yeah. Absolutely.
All over the place. We're in a pretty unique area. It's not a city. We're about 40 or 50,000 people, but the outdoors aspect of this area is huge. So you just got to get creative, and we do. We do a little bit of rappelling. We go elk hunting. We go just mess around in the desert. Go jump in the lake off some rocks.
Yeah, nice.
The sky's the limit if you can open up your mind a little bit.
Yeah. And plus, from what I read on your website, you work outside too, right?
I do. Yeah, I've always either been in the oil and gas industry. I've been a certified crane operator since 2006. So just general construction, and that's anything from power plants to active mine sites and general construction, building schools, putting air conditioner units on the mall, anything up high.
Yeah.
So we're always outside, always in a different environment, sometimes long hours and sometimes just right here in town. So you never know what to expect.
Right.
And so that's another reason for some of the beard oils, some of the concoctions that we put in the different products is for different activities. If like I said, so I'm Scottish, actually born in Scotland.
Really?
Super pale, fair skinned, Scottish. So the sun hits me and it's brutal. And if you're going to be out there all day, that's where a lot of the oils that are incorporated into the beard oils. I wipe them on my face, my elbows, or you wipe it in your beard and your hands are a little oily. Just put it on your skin because most of these oils are really, really good for your skin.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's fun about it. And that's what's good about it. And that's where a lot of the experimentation aspect of it comes into play. You just try different things. A lot of them have natural UV protection, and like I said, the sun's brutal. I'd step outside and get, especially this time of year, because we get the winter weather from Colorado. They go ahead and push it down, so it stays cold here for until late March. It just barely started warming up here.
Yeah.
So you go for months and months without seeing the sun, and then you get out there and your skin starts drying out a little bit. So it's time for the sunscreen and like I said, I use that oil for skin maintenance as well, which is super helpful.
All right. So you said you were born in Scotland. Were you raised there or raised in the desert?
Well, so I was raised in the desert. I was born in Scotland. So a little backstory, getting off topic, but my mom's from Scotland. She's one of 8. My dad is from here. He's from Colorado. So dad's American, mom's Scottish.
Gotcha.
He was working in the North Sea doing oil field stuff, and ended up, meeting up with my mom out there. They got married, had me and my sister, and we were born, lived there for a little bit, and then he brought her back to America, and we ended up here in the desert. And this is where it happens now.
That's a big jump.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a big jump, and that's how everyone that finds out I'm from Scotland or knows I'm from Scotland is like, how did you end up in Farmington, New Mexico, of all places? And that's why we had a parent from here, a parent from there, and that's how it works. But it's turned out really good. My mom's one of 8, like I said, and so we still have a lot of family in Scotland.
Yeah.
So in the Christmas of 2022, we went back to Scotland. We took Parker here and his brother Carter.
Nice.
We took my mom and a bunch of family in Scotland. So we got to travel around. We had the luxury of having a chauffeur. We got cousins, nephews, and all kinds of aunts and uncles all over the place. We had houses to go to, stories to hear, and a lot of exploring.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, one of our usual guys in the chat, he actually married someone from Scotland. He was in the Navy and I think stationed there. He'll probably watch the show later and get a kick out of your story there. We also
in the chat.
What's that?
He's in the chat.
Oh, is he? I didn't see him. Chief?
Yep.
Chief is in there. Okay. And True North says his grandfather was born and raised in Scotland before he came to Boston. Last week we had Kilted Beard Company, which is Scottish themed. And I got to go to Scotland last year and for the first time. That was really cool experience.
Oh wow, where did you go?
Inverness, Edinburgh, and an island. I can't remember the name of the island offhand. There's a lot of islands there though.
So Edinburgh's crazy, right? Or is it just me? We visited. We did some dungeon tours, the little ones there, and man, it's crazy how old that is, and how they were able to build that stuff like that long ago. Like I said, being in construction, I work around cranes and dozers and machinery. They didn't have that stuff when they built Edinburgh, the castle and the dungeons and just the underground layers and layers of structures that they were able to put together.
Amazing.
Yep.
Yeah. The island, I think the island that I went to is called Orkney Island. Okay. And they had the remnants of like this village from 6,000 years ago.
Wow.
Which is just amazing. Like that's older than a lot of things that we can see now. Like that's older than Stonehenge, older than the pyramids. Just amazing, like how it's preserved, and really cool over there. Can't wait to go back.
Looks like we have one of your friends in the chat. Says Scotty B is the hardest working person I've ever met.
Oh, there we go. That's Chad, Uncle Chad. Shout out.
I texted him. I texted him before I came over here.
So even though like in the beard community, which is growing every year, and the amount of like beard companies is growing, I would still say that there's probably more people that don't take care of their beard than do, in the country, depending on where you live. Being that you're like an outdoor worker, you work with men that work the blue collar kind of atmosphere. How is their reception to your beard care company? Like, were they into the beard care themselves, or was it like kind of foreign to them?
No, it was foreign to them, and it was foreign to me as well. For a long time, I never put anything in my beard. Just
Right.
had facial hair, and like I said, just being Scottish background and the way that my skin was designed from birth, it's dry, it's blotchy, I get sunburned real easy, and just hair blowing in the wind all over the place. And so once I started putting product in it, I realized, dang, that this is, you put natural oils in your hair because it helps. It's for a reason. So when I started making it and started letting people know that I was even before making it, just letting people know that I was using it.
Yeah.
The stereotypical oil filled guy or construction worker. Oh yeah, you're using cosmetic stuff with all this girly stuff, using makeup. Right. But once I would let them know or let them try the stuff that I was buying or suggest that they try something. Like, hey, it smells good, it looks good, my face feels better, and it kind of took off around here, which is cool.
Yeah, and they've probably found that their significant other probably really appreciates that they take care of their beard now.
Yeah,
as opposed to before.
Working men that work 16 hours a day, then go home, shower, go to sleep, wake up, go to work. A lot of them don't worry about what the significant other thinks, or don't worry about what people think, or they'll wear their work clothes to the restaurant on the way home from work. But
right,
it doesn't take much time. It's healthy for you. And dang, it even smells good to your own self. You're out there with all the exhaust fumes and all the the petroleum products that get all over you, and then get a little piece of, dang, I do smell good, and or whatever. It's coming around a lot.
Yeah,
still catch a lot of flack. You're making hair products. That's cute. But they'll try them. They'll like them, and it's going forward. It's a good thing.
What's up, Dynamite? And we got another super chat. Wow, Chad, thank you so much. Very cool. Appreciate that. And I did see a comment earlier. Oh, Jacob, I guess, lived in Aztec, New Mexico, right next to Farmington.
Yep.
That's near you then. Okay.
A lot of great leather stuff, like your coffee mat.
Yeah. Jacob's an excellent leather artist or constructor.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Scott, you got anything do you have a slide deck?
Oh, little one. Yeah.
Okay. Let's get into that. And then if anyone has any questions, we'll pin them and we'll get to them after the slideshow. There's a crane.
Yep. I figured it was fitting.
Yeah.
And then we've got his logo, Scotty B's Beard Care. Grow big or go home. I kind of like. Now I did these a little different this week. We have 5 oils. He doesn't have any butter or balm. He's pretty new, and from the sounds of it, you're working towards butter.
Yeah, I would definitely like to have some of the butter, some of the style holders. I mean, the oil is good for the hydration, but then, and I don't know if you can notice, but I get a little bit of a natural kind of the French fork.
Mm-hmm.
I get that
in the middle. But yeah, I'm digging the butters and the wash. So another thing, and I just to again get kind of off topic, but a lot of the shampoos and conditioners that everybody is buying in the stores is a lot of chemicals, a lot of garbage, a lot of stuff you've never heard of, and a lot of stuff that's not meant to be put on your hair or skin.
Mm.
And so when it comes to an actual wash, that's my next step. Is I'm getting into looking to see if I can develop some kind of a wash that's safe, smells good, works good, and can be cost effective. Because just the shampoos and conditioners that you buy in the in the corporate stores are pure chemicals. A lot of junk in them.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So walnut oil, that's one that I don't see too often.
Oh, here we got the first oil. It's called Highland Spice, and it's got 100% pure cold pressed, unrefined jojoba oil, avocado oil, coconut oil, walnut oil, and grapeseed oil. Do you want to explain the scent, or I can read the little blurb you sent me?
No, so the scent. Actually, I'll tell you the whole story about the Highland Spice. So Highland Spice was the first scent that I had ever basically documented the ingredients with the intention of replicating it. Because before I was mixing some stuff up and just using it and then just kind of experimenting and playing around. But once I narrowed down the Highland Spice, it was because what I had done is I had bought some of the bay rum scent, because the bay rum scent is kind of a broad term, but it's kind of a spicy scent, and I was trying to mimic the bay rum scent, and so I got a mixture that I liked, and it was, there was 6 carrier oils, and just experimenting, I put all equal parts, and then spiced it up a little bit. I think it was some cinnamon tree oil, and there was a couple other little essential oils, but primarily cinnamon, just for the spiciness. And prior to even thinking about starting a beard oil company, that's what I was using for several months. And it happened to be what we took on our trip to Scotland. And so that's what I used the whole time there. Because, when you're in Scotland, you're dealing with cold weather, high humidity, but it's cold. And that's what I was using, and I was liking it. And while we were there, we actually ended up running into some Highland cows.
Yeah.
Here got to pet them. My wife, Melissa, she loved the Highland cows. We had a Highland cow day where we were just chilling with cows. Here in New Mexico, there's cattle everywhere. You don't go play with them. You don't go pet them. You don't admire them. They're just in a field waiting to become beef. The Highland cows, they were a cross between a wild animal and a pet. They were cool to see, and they're really nice. And we kind of chilled with them, and that's what I was wearing at the time. Was that concoction that I had made. Didn't have a name yet. And so I named it Highland Spice, because that's just situational, and that meant a lot, and that was a cool aspect of creating that scent, that oil with the Highland cows, and just the adventure that we had as a family, which was huge. A trip overseas is huge to any family.
Oh yeah.
Anyway.
But
scent profile, if you will, it was kind of mimicking the bay rum scent, a little spicy. Jojoba was, the first ingredient, which has always been my favorite. It relics the skin's natural oil, is why I like it the most. Jojoba oil it's easy. It soaks into your skin. It doesn't leave you feeling greasy. Just super natural feeling. So I've always been a big fan of jojoba oil. The rest of the oils, I just kind of experimenting with them. I know avocados, they're a superfood. I've always known that. Avocados are real healthy. So is avocado oil good for you? Come to find out it is. It's good for your skin. It's good for your hair. So I really like that one. The coconut oil, all around it's a good oil. I think Highland Spice is the only beard oil that I have coconut oil in. Not because of the quality of coconut oil, but I just personally, I don't like the smell of coconut. I don't like coconut. So I don't use it a lot, although it's a really good oil. The walnut oil, the little sweet scent of walnut oil is pretty. I like the scent of walnut oil, and it's just like all the carrier oils that I've used are all similar with their just the what they're used for the health benefits, hair and skin wise. And grapeseed oil I'll tell you a little backstory about the grapeseed oil. So we were at a baseball tournament. We're always traveling for sports, but we're in Albuquerque, which is the closest city. And in between baseball games or after a baseball game, we ended up at a Trader Joe's. We don't have a Trader Joe's here locally, but when we travel, my wife likes to go to Trader Joe's. They got a lot of organic stuff, a lot of all natural things.
Oh yeah.
And so I'm not much of a shopper, so I take off on my own, and I found this grapeseed oil, and never heard of it, didn't know much about it, but I, read the back, bought it, brought it home, messed around with it a little bit. I'm like, dang, grapeseed oil is actually really, really good for you also. So added it to the list, been using it a little bit here and there. But that's the rundown on Highland Spice. That's kind of where the business all started. That's why I was rambling and elaborating more on that one.
Yeah.
That actually kind of gave me the idea of maybe I should make more of this because it smells good. It's good, good for your beard, good for your skin. It's appealing to a lot of people. I had a lot of compliments in Scotland, like, oh, dang, your beard looks good, whatever. And then, oh, that smells good, all that stuff. People like it worldwide. So
there you go.
So let's go. All right, let's do this.
Yeah, it's a very nice scent. It's
Yeah.
got a little spice to it, but I really enjoy it.
Does it pair well with Highland Grog, Scott?
I don't know about that.
Okay. So you're always drinking a Highland Grog.
Yeah. I was going to say something else, now I forgot. Oh well, I'm sure it'll come up to me. By the way, I didn't say it. $15 for a 1 ounce. That's the price of all of these oils. I was going to say it also has real good feeling beard. I had right off the bat, just felt amazing in the beard.
Driftwood Drive.
And here's another one I was enjoying. The description had walnut base, then 100% jojoba oil, pure cold pressed unrefined, sweet almond oil, and castor oil. You want to tell us a little bit about this one?
Yeah, so that was the first one that I experimented with castor oil. A lot of the base oils that I use, which there's basically 6 of the main ones, is the jojoba, the almond, the coconut, walnut, grapeseed oil, avocado oil, and then I came across some castor oil. I'd been hearing about. You've always heard about castor oil.
Oh yeah.
For like Western medicine type stuff. So I got some and I tried it. It's a little thick. I'm not a big fan of the thick greasiness, but being from a dry environment, it works really, really good here where it's dry.
Yeah.
So here, Arizona, our neighbor over there, Phoenix, gets 115 degrees with 0 humidity. That will keep your beard a little bit moist in those hot, dry atmospheres. So that was, like I said, the first time I really messed around with the castor. Driftwood Drive, I was trying to make it smell a little bit woody. It didn't come out as woody as I would have liked. The walnut, you can smell the walnut in it. The walnut oil doesn't have a real potent smell, but it can give you that little wood feel. It's a little slick out of the bottle. You rub it on your hands, you can tell it's got something thick in it. That's the castor kind of kicking it in. But yeah, that's one of those ones you can use every day. It doesn't take a lot of oil. It doesn't take more than a half of a dropper full. I use about 2 dropper fulls when I do my thing in the morning. But that one, if unless you have a big crazy beard, that one will slick it right up for sure.
I was gonna say about what would you say is the viscosity of your oils? This one's probably a little on the thicker side, more medium. Yes,
that's one of the thicker ones. All the other 4 are about the same consistency. None are super watery, and none of them are real thick. And I didn't when I was creating them or experimenting with them, Never really got anything thick out of them, and didn't even realize you could have a real thick viscosity of one until I started messing with the castor oil. But yeah, all of them are pretty much a medium viscosity. They're all have moisturizing benefits for sure. I would say out of all of them, the one with the castor, that driftwood drive, maybe not wear that in a super humid environment. So I have some family down in Houston, around the Houston area, north of Houston, Conroe, Texas, and we went down there a couple of years ago, and I was using some of that where it is warm and humid, and it almost because when you're in the humidity, you're sweating, everything's wet, you never dry out. Well, your beard will definitely not dry out if you have something thick in it in a humid environment. So I wouldn't recommend the castor oil-based products in a humid environment. But that's, like I said, that's the only one we really had any castor in. I do like it because on the dry, windy days, it'll stay, moisturized. It doesn't dry out. It kind of always falls back into place, and surprisingly, it's not sticky like the dust and the dirt. And say working in construction or in the oil field, or grease and oil and the elements that come with the working atmosphere don't stick to it too awful bad, but it's probably the stickiest of the oils that we have.
Thank you, Chad, for another super chat. Really appreciate it, man.
Chad's one of my biggest fans for sure.
Antonio, long time no see.
Roll dog. That's Parker's roll dog. Uncle Chad.
Did you get a haircut yesterday?
Nice.
Yeah, up here in the colder climates, I do like that castor oil during the winters here. But as it gets warmer out, I probably wouldn't wear it as much. But yeah, it's definitely thick enough for my winters, and it's got a nice. If you're like woody smells, it's be right up your alley. I really enjoy it.
Yeah, we appreciate that. You guys did you try them all? Did you get to try them all?
Yeah, I did try them all.
Nice. Okay.
And my wife, Mrs. Brucetti, did like quite a few of them as well. And they're coming up yet. I think one of them's next. Yeah, this is one of the ones she liked.
Okay.
And this one, it listed as castor oil, jojoba oil, and sweet almond oil. And it's obviously a lavender scent. Is there more behind that than that?
Well, no, it is a lavender scent. The majority of that is, I got some notes here, but so yeah, the majority of that is a lavender essential oil. And a little backstory on the scent itself. So my sister-in-law, Laura, which is Chad's sister, so she has the oil diffusers running in her house all day, every day. Every time we go over there, it's pumping. Her house always smells amazing. And she likes the lavender. So her house always smells, like lavender. So I was asking her early on, like, hey, Laura, why does your house always smell so freaking good? What is that? And she said, well, it's lavender, because I don't know a lot about flowers. I don't know a lot about scents, essential oils, or any of that. She said, well, it's lavender. So I was, messing around with her essential oils. I'm like, man, this could go places. This smells really, really good. So we mixed up a little bit of lavender, did a little experimenting, and came up with that scent. And it's Zia Lavanda is actually kind of Spanish for anti-lavender, and that's props to her. She's the most creative one in the family. No disrespect to any of you other guys, but she is the most creative person in the family. So I go to her a lot for things like that, thinking outside the box, and she helped me kind of nail that one. But yeah, that's straight up lavender, and that was the reason is she pumps the lavender essential oils into the air, and it just smells, homely. It smells cozy, fresh, all that. It's really effective for the senses.
Yeah, I'd say it's a good relaxing scent. I'm sure a lot of the guys would probably enjoy wearing this at nighttime.
Yeah.
And my wife loved the smell of it, so I'm sure a lot of other women would enjoy the scent as well. And
Matt
we always,
Bowman says it's his favorite.
yeah, and we always want to keep the women happy, so that'll just that can't hurt. And here was probably one of the most interesting ones that kind of threw me. Diluted diesel. It's got grapeseed, sweet almond oil, jojoba oil, and castor oil. Want to explain your thinking behind this one?
So with that one, and I'm gonna try not to name drop. So I bought some oil off of a company. Am I allowed to talk about other companies?
It's your time. You can talk about whatever you want.
Okay. So I bought some oil, and I think it was the Mad Viking or something. They had a scent called Dragon Shed, if I remember right. And so I bought it, online, and I tried it, and it was almost horrible at first. The scent, overpowering, really, really strong. But the properties of it were good. It was moisturizing. It was easy to work in. It wasn't hard to wash out, and it stuck around all day. And I really liked it. So my intention was to create a scent that was overpowering, almost too much. Just because working in like I said, the oil and gas industry and heavy construction, it smells like exhaust. It smells like diesel. It smells like petroleum products. It smells like BO. It smells like all kinds of stuff combined. You can tell when you're sitting next to a hardworking man at a bar or a restaurant, like, Dave, that guy smells like hard work. So I was trying to put a scent together that was almost too much. But once I mixed the ingredients up, adding a little bit of this, just playing around with it, thinking it was going to be overwhelming, thinking it was going to be almost disgusting, something that I would use a couple times and maybe even dump out. It smelled like a really diluted version of what I was shooting for. It wasn't that overpowering. It wasn't strong at all. And it actually felt really good and smelt really good. So I ended up calling it the diluted diesel because it was a diluted version of what I was shooting for, but still a working man's beard oil. It'll stick with you all day. It's got enough moisture in it to roll around in the dirt, work in the wind, and work a long shift and still have a little bit hanging out when you get off work and go home, and you're still not dried out or wind burnt or needing to put something else in it. That one kind of sticks around.
Yeah, that one, it kind of almost smells like fuel, which I think that's what you were kind of going for, but I don't believe it's fuel actually there. But it's definitely a different scent.
Yeah, I was I was literally trying to make it not smell good. Just playing, experimenting, and I ended up liking it. So jotted down
to grow on you.
and said we're just gonna go ahead and keep this one around because it's ended up being one that I use a lot of.
Do a lot of the other guys you work with like that one?
Well, and that's part of the reason why I named it that, and was able, because you were asking earlier, what do the guys in the field and the industries think? If it has a cool name and you make it sound manly men are going to use it, even if it's not a real tough product. But so yeah, that one's good. That one's a big hit around here, just because of the name. Just because, there's a picture of a crane in the background, and I hand out the free samples at work, or give it to the guys at the power plant, or the construction workers on the side of the road, or whatever. But yeah, that one's working out really good for the industrial side of everything.
Yeah, Kev, if you're looking for a diesel fuel type theme, this is probably the one for you.
Yeah. The IT guys want the Zia Lavender.
Well, it's there for you.
The IT guys.
That's what Matt Bowen says.
I was gonna say, speaking of IT, so let's give a shout out to Matt Bowman right there. So integrated IT, he's my brother-in-law also. That's Auntie Laura's husband.
Okay.
So he's the IT guy. He's the one that helps me when I have trouble with the website. And he actually wired up this room we're sitting in. He got us Wi-Fi going. We got our own Wi-Fi network out here.
Nice.
Man cave Wi-Fi. That's the one the IT guys like. There you go.
Oh, I never changed the title.
Scotty.
Yes, and this one's a little different, and Becky did like this one as well. We were almost getting like a cannabis vibes off of it.
Well, we don't have any cannabis in it. Is that what you said? Cannabis vibes?
Well, yeah, just that kind of almost theme.
Okay. Yeah. So that one, the scent profile wise, and again, I'll get a little off topic. So that one has, what is it, that the lemongrass oil. So in my free time, not a lot, but I'm an amateur beekeeper.
Wow.
I boxed up a couple of sets of bees. I was actually out Thursday and grabbed a hive of bees from one of the local refineries here because they were having some issues. And it was just something I learned from my pops and from a couple of elders back in the day.
Nice.
But so bees, just so you guys know, fun fact. So bees like lemongrass oil. And way before I had any intention of putting oil on my face, I learned about lemongrass oil as being something that bees are attracted to. Anytime that you have this time of year, bees like to swarm up. They're looking for a home. They're looking to pollinate all the trees and the flowers that are blossoming and everything. But they'll swarm up and they don't know where to go. They're confused. But if you sprinkle a little bit of lemongrass oil, it can even be just an essential oil lemongrass. They're attracted to it. So you put that in a box and you can kind of just scoop up a beehive and they'll stay in that box and you can relocate them to a safer environment or whatever. So back on topic. So I've always liked the lemongrass scent, and I had not made a citrusy style of a scent until this one. And then, so I used a lot of that lemongrass oil because I was kind of raised around it. I've always enjoyed it. Maybe not wear Scoden is the way we pronounce it. Maybe not wear Scoden if you're going to be out where there's a bunch of bees because they might like your face.
Yeah.
But that was the primary ingredient for that, partially because I'd been around it a long time. I do like the citrusy scents. So I used, again, my favorite jojoba. I put some avocado in it, some sweet almond, and then I just dumped a bunch of lemongrass essential oil in it. Mixed it up, give it that little citrus scent, and that's the fruity one, if you will. That's the fruitiest of the scents that we have.
Yeah, and it's a good scent. I'm not saying anything against it. Like I said, Becky did like this one. I like it as well. It's definitely a good scent, but good point not to wear it around the bees. I'll have to make a note of that.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of that.
No.
Good information to know.
Yeah, fun facts all day.
Because there's quite a few companies that do use that lemongrass, and
yeah, and it's a lemony scent, and it's a good little citrus. It's not overwhelming. It's a soothing scent.
I think a lot of companies use it like in sense they want to keep mosquitoes away.
Okay, a repellent, insect.
Yeah. I stick with peppermint for that one.
Okay, there you go.
Peppermint scents to keep the bugs away.
Yeah, as long as it works. But this is a pretty cool scent. It's the last of the 5. I had a little incident with the bottle.
Uh-oh.
I dropped the dropper and it broke.
Oh, the dropper broke, or
Yeah.
oh wow.
I was like, oh, okay. But I didn't lose much oil, so it wasn't too bad. I think that's the first dropper I've dropped that broke.
Yeah.
It still work. I have plenty of droppers here, so it wasn't a big deal. But it's just a nice, pleasant scent for me. Do you want to get into this, or you want me to read this blurb about this one? It had some interesting information in it.
No, you can go ahead and read, and then I can elaborate. And if anyone has questions, we can kind of roll with that. It does have an interesting little backstory.
Yeah, the area of northwest New Mexico where they live, is next to one of the largest Native American reservations in the entire country, the Navajo Nation. While their culture is very strong and unique, so is their sense of humor, which is why this works. So the Navajo people were the code talkers during World War II. Their Navajo language is a famous trait of theirs. Now, in modern times, the accent of the Navajo speaker is unrecognizable, at least if you're from the Southwest. And there are a couple of catchphrases that have become popular throughout part of this country. If you know, you know, and if you don't, then it doesn't matter. Skogden, let's go then. And Studis, let's do this. We picked Skogden just for fun. I thought that was kind of interesting. I enjoy history and really enjoyed. There's a movie a while back on code talkers.
Yeah. So yeah, the Navajo language is, and if for those of you that do know the history, it was a big part of the World Wars and or World War II, because it is a super hard language to crack unless you, because they're indigenous of America. That language has never been anywhere except for here. They leave out a lot of the consonants. It's a lot of vowel sounds and a lot of jammed together words, which is why it was so effective in the war. Even the American soldiers couldn't really understand it. That's why it was code. It was big time code, and they could understand each other just fine. So they would get on the radios and communicate. And unlike a lot of the codes from the other countries involved in these wars, you could decipher them because everybody speaks somewhat of a dialect of English. This is not English at all. So anyway, that's the history part of it. Since it's become their traditional language mixed with English, so an accent, and unless you're from the Southwest, you can't really even understand the accent because they do leave out so many consonants and everything. But the two phrases, that one, Skoden, is just short for let's go then. And then Studis is short for let's do this. And around here, I mean, the Navajo people are still really traditional, and they're proud of their heritage, and we are also just proud to be a part of it and proud to be around it. So being able to kind of throw that out there, it kind of means a lot. I have some coworkers that are Navajo background, and they think it's funny, they think it's cool. And another fun fact was so at the arts and crafts fairs that we have here, the Navajo people traditionally, or just a fact, is they don't grow facial hair.
Right.
So there's a lot of Navajo men running around with beards. But one of the biggest sellers at these local arts and crafts shows is the Skoden scent to Navajo men with zero facial hair.
That's kind of funny. Oh, did we lose them?
Oh, I guess so.
Kind of represents their language and at least
there
acknowledge their language. And so they'll buy it just because it's fun. and they'll use it on their skin and put it in their hair or whatever. But sold a lot of Scotty to men without facial hair because of the history of it and kind of the comedy mixed in with it. No offense intended, and they kind of get that. It's more of a tribute to them than offensive, and so that's just it's a fun one. Here where we live, maybe up there in Cheyenne, you kind of know what I'm talking about. But yeah, here locally, that's a fun one. That's why I labeled it as a fun one.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So you've worked some markets with your products. You've set up shop at markets.
Uh-oh, I might have lost the audio. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
Oh,
we can hear you.
We can hear you.
He can't hear us.
Can you hear us?
If you guys can hear me, I can't hear you.
Yeah, we can. We hear you. We hear you.
Anything?
Yeah, we hear you. You're good.
You're good. He just can't hear what we're saying.
Right. Or see the private chat, probably. Yeah. Can you hear us, Scott? Yep. All right, so Alamir.
Well,
nice to
I
see
lost you
Been a
guys
while.
all on audio.
Yeah.
Check out the.
Okay, I think I got you back.
You got us?
I can hear you now.
Okay, good. All right.
Okay.
Yep. So yeah, I'd asked if you did some markets then. You sold your products at markets?
Yeah, so they have some arts and crafts festivals, just arts and crafts shows where people will sell, anything they grow garden wise. They'll sell honeys, they'll sell just things that they make, knitted sweaters, Navajo rugs and blankets, jewelry, anything creative. Some 3D printing stuff is starting to show up at some of these markets, and we're a small town. It's not a city. So it's not huge deals, but it brings the locals together that are, the little entrepreneur types or the old school grow your own and sell it at the market. So good atmosphere, good to get out there, meet people, just a fun, friendly, family-friendly environments.
Do you notice a difference in between like what your regular customers are buying as compared to the market? Like, is there a big difference or is it pretty similar?
So pretty similar, and
Okay.
as you can tell, or I'll just explain. So we only have the 5 cents, keeping it simple. It's still really, really new, but I think a lot of the customers are still experimenting and just trying. So not been around long enough to have a lot of repeat customers.
Mm-hmm.
There hasn't been a significant sales in 1 cent versus other cent. It's pretty even across the board. So yeah, pretty. There's not like a pinpoint that we've sold more of than another. It's pretty even.
One thing that I've heard from other companies is like their biggest customers are women at markets as compared to like online or where it's men buying the stuff.
Well, and that's the good thing about the markets is it's one-on-one. You know, you can have some information printed out and you can actually pitch that it's a skincare product on
Right.
top of being a beard care product or a hair care product in general. Let them, you know, put a couple drops in their hand, rub it on their arms, you know, rub it on their face and realize that, dang it, and it really is beneficial to skin. And I got some literature printed out, a little sheet of all the, at least the carrier oils
Yeah.
that, you know, they can read through and they, you know, oh wow, sweet almond oil really does, you know, tone down my acne, or avocado oil really will soothe some psoriasis.
Hmm.
Things that someone shopping online isn't gonna dig that deep. Most people shopping online aren't gonna dig that deep into it. They see beard oil and they think, I don't have a beard, I'm moving on. But you know, track someone down at a market that's actually there to because they're curious and you know they want to learn. They're there for some interaction, and they can learn something, and you can teach them something, and then it's the family friendly atmosphere about that is how you can sell a manly beard product to the, you know, the women clientele.
Right. Right. Yeah. Amber says, Amber in Bowden says that she uses exclusively small batch beard company products on her skin, hair, and shower products.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you don't know, then you're not going to know shopping online. But yeah, someone like Amber who's been around beard products knows what's in them, and it's mostly natural,
Yeah.
healthy oils that are good for skin, hair, and even ingested. A lot of these oils you can ingest a little bit of them, and they're good for you. You know, but slow down on the castor oil, but the rest of them, some of them have really good properties that have good health benefits. Even, you know, mixing them with food or mixing them in a drink, even.
Yeah. Brad has a good question. I had thought of this question as well. Is your fragrance more from essential oils or fragrance oils?
So it is all from essential oils.
Nice. Okay.
That was one of the things that I was learning by reading the backs of the bottles that I was buying online. Is there's a lot of, you know, perfumes and alcohols and stuff that
Mhm.
dries out your skin. And you know, I don't know a lot about fragrance oils. I just, you know, essential oils I know are natural.
Yeah.
So I absolutely no perfumes, no alcohols, no, which is one of the reason I started making my own beard oils is to get away from the alcohols and the perfumes. Because me being
Right.
a fair skinned Scottish white boy, that stuff drives me out bad. I would end up peeling or flaking out from under my beard.
Yeah.
And what did I get in there? And it's all day, and I'm like, that's my skin. It's itchy. It's something burning me, drying me out, and it's unhealthy. So I'm like, I'm gonna start making my own. And so that's, you know, the reason for the all natural carrier oils and just keeping it simple but keeping it real, so to
Mhm.
speak. Using the natural stuff is just health wise, and that's why it started for me. And that's kind of our big pitch. Get that out there. Let people know that, you know, the stuff is actually good for your skin. Underneath the manliness of putting oil in your big Viking beard, you have sensitive skin under there, big strong
Yeah.
man. Take care of your skin.
Yeah.
And, you know, so the natural stuff helps with that.
That's something that I would recommend that you highlight on your website is the fact that you use all essential oils, because there's only a handful of companies that only use essential oils.
Okay.
There's some companies that will use fragrance and essential oils, but being a company that only uses essential oils, that's a small group. And I think that's worth being highlighted for that market of only wanting to use those natural smells.
Yes, we have a bunch of people who watch our show that all they use are essential oils, and they're always interested in finding companies,
Mhm.
newer companies that have essential oil products.
Okay. No, that's good. I appreciate you guys pointing that out and knowing that's
Yeah.
one of the main reasons I'm here is you guys know your business and you guys deal with this stuff a lot. So that's super good advice and input. And yeah, I definitely appreciate that.
The other thing I would suggest is having a scent page that kind of describes your scents.
Okay.
It just makes it easier. and they can just choose what they want and go to the page and pick out what they want to buy.
Okay. And because, yeah, that's, like I said, it's relatively new to us. It's actually the first round of labels. I haven't changed the labels or modified anything yet. I did have a review done by Dan Command, and that was one of his big talking points too. He said, put some scent profiles on your bottles, because people that are looking for the stuff know what they're looking for. And I never understood that or realized that. I was buying off of either the name or the logo or what looks cool, until I started to discover that there's garbage in some of these, and some of them are actually really good products. So I was, like I said, I was just buying them randomly just to put something in my dry beard. And as the journey progressed, I started realizing that there's good and bad. But yeah, so yeah, it's still my first round of labels. We'll get a little more in depth, get a little more creative, and get a little more on top of customer needs and wants as far as what they want to see and what
Right.
them to your product. But yeah, we take pride in being the all natural stuff, the Trader Joe's grapeseed oil. I just stumbled across that, and it worked out really, really good. It's, pricey, but the all natural stuff's the way to go.
Yeah. I know they're essential oil scents. How long would you say the scent sticks around for?
As far as per use,
Yeah.
well, so none of them are overbearing. I would say the strongest one would be the one with the lemongrass in it, that Scotty. But none of them really last more than a few hours. I can get a hint of the Highland spice in the afternoons or even in the evenings when you get home from work and get in the atmosphere where the wind and the dust aren't blowing around. You can still kind of smell it. It's probably the most predominant smelling one is the spicy one, the Highland spice. And the rest of them are pretty mellow. I was shooting for the diluted diesel to be that one that stayed with you all day. And even when you get home, you can still smell it and can't wait to wash it out. But it wasn't the case. It ended up being pretty mellow, pretty tolerable, very tolerable. And then it tapers off towards the end of the day. So, but the lemongrass, the Scotty, it sticks around a while.
Yeah, I'd say probably a good 3 to maybe 4 for the ones on the stronger side. If you add water to your beard, you might get a little more out of it.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you can rejuvenate that scent by adding.
Yeah. And depending on what you're doing in the day too, if you're active and you're outside, and you're riding your motorcycle, or like it dissipates a lot more if you're out in the elements. If you're sitting in an office all day, or you work at a bank or something, you might be able to smell that all day. I unfortunately or fortunately don't have that luxury, but so to me they're gone because I'm always on the go. But try them out for yourself. See what you think for yourself as far as the longevity of the scent sticking around.
Yeah, I think they're pretty typical of most essential only blends across other companies. You pretty much get the same scent that with most other essential oil companies I've used. I'm sure Mike would probably suggest maybe a peppermint scent.
He likes the peppermint.
Yes. Yeah, I enjoy that one too. They're pretty good. I think we have questions here somewhere.
Nope, I got through them.
Oh, did you get them all?
Yep. Yep. And I realized that Scott probably can't see the chat because he's using his phone, so I just kind of brought it up onto the screen here.
Okay, I haven't seen any of them until you just did that.
Yeah. Sorry about that. We probably should have done that earlier. But Amber was making a lot of comments. She knows a lot about. I mean, she uses beard oils, beard products all the time on her skin and her hair, head hair. because of the benefits. And she even has a couple of shows on YouTube about, about the positives of using these products. And then she buys everything for Kev, and she she grooms Kev's beard for him. So, but
yeah, she was sharing the links and stuff on Instagram today. So I discovered her on Instagram today, and I could tell she knows what she's talking about. She's got the bearded man stuff,
yep.
and the links to all the videos and the live streams and everything. So
we appreciate everything she does for this community.
Make sure you contact her about the newsletter she does every week to kind of get your name in there. And
that comes out.
Immediately tell that she was super involved, probably the brains behind the operation.
And she also does a Sunday stream and talks about her newsletter and the schedule of all these great shows in the beard community.
Yeah. Yeah. So what are you looking into next? Like what are you working on? Like, you don't have to show or tell us any secrets, but like what do you hope for your company?
Well, so
in regards to products,
I touched on it earlier. I think a good beard wash is what I'm going to shoot for next, and mainly because similar to the oil situation, everything that you can buy in a commercial store, anything on the shelf in Walmart. I wouldn't say everything, but the stuff you buy on the shelf, the name brand stuff, the stuff you see a commercial for on TV. It's super, super unhealthy. A lot of garbage in it, a lot of chemicals, a lot of stuff you can't even pronounce. And you're putting it right by your mouth or right on your face, by your eyes. Like, that's chemicals. So coming up with a good beard wash is up on my priority list for sure. Another thing is going to be apparel. Like I mentioned earlier, when I used to buy a lot of beard oils online, I would look for the companies, like this one, like mine, that family-owned companies, small batch companies that have a cool looking shirt or a hat with a cool logo on it, so that supports their business and a little bit trendy. But so apparel would be in our future. I actually told my older boy, the one you hadn't met, Carter, he's 13, so that teenage years, they're always on their phones and always on the social media, but I'm telling him, like, use the technology and the social media to your benefit.
All right.
When you're on these platforms, look up stuff that you're interested in. And I told him, if you can, create a logo or help me out, then you can create a logo. We'll make some shirts. We'll sell them. We'll make some hats. We'll sell them. Use that technology, come up with something cool and trendy. It supports the local business. And it's, helps people out that enjoy spending money on a family-owned business.
Yeah.
Supporting a logo that no one in their town has ever heard of. It brings up conversation pieces, and it's fun and it's helpful and it's good for the community. It's good for just commerce in general.
Mm-hmm. Chad, thanks again for the super chat. Really appreciate it. You're very generous tonight.
Yes. Thank you.
Kev says, I'll say it, I'm very lucky. Amber works very hard at everything she does. She absolutely does. We love Amber. We love Kev too. Dynamite, thank you so much for the super chat. Oh, wow, a lot of generous people tonight. Wow. Really appreciate it. Yeah, Baker's a hat guy just like me. Hats are a must. I think I have around 180 hats, and probably a good quarter to a third is probably beard company.
Yeah.
Hats.
Yeah, I can second that. I don't know that I have that many, but I have quite a bit.
Yeah.
I always got to make sure I'm careful before the stream that I'm not wearing. We're promoting a company and I'm not wearing their competitor's hat.
Right. Oh, Kev, thanks, Kev. Appreciate it. You don't have to do that though. I really appreciate it. Born bearded, yep. So yeah, I agree. I think a wash is like a great next step because, in my opinion, like if you had to only live with 2 items, it would be beard wash and beard oil.
Yeah.
Like butter and balm are really good for your beard. But you could survive without it, like in regards to treating the skin underneath the beard is the most important thing. And that's what wash and the oil does.
Yeah. Yeah. And people don't realize it when they just have a little beard or starting out with the beard or keep their beard super short. But yeah, they start getting longer and your skin never sees the sun, doesn't get a lot of oxygen. It's just hiding under there. You got to be able to take care of it while it's hidden because you can't see it. And it's
Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. And especially if you're going to grow a yard or, grow a long beard, you got to start from the stubble because that stubble is going to end up down here and you want it healthy and you want, you treat the skin right away.
Yeah, absolutely.
Amber says that she could survive with a good beard wash. Yeah, so I use butter and balm. I love using balm, but if I can only pick 2 things, like if I had to survive, it would be oil and a wash because those are the most important things. But for styling, butter and balm are pretty essential.
Thank you, Kev. We appreciate it.
Yeah. So anyone else in the chat have questions for Scott or Parker? All right. You hanging in there?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think? Do you wear the beard oil too?
I put on my hair in the morning sometimes, and it makes a difference. It'll last all day. And
Yeah.
like all my friends will say, Parker, why is your hair so smooth and smell so good? What kind of shampoo do you use? And I'm like, does your dad have a beard? And sometimes they're like, yeah. Sometimes they're like, no. And so I tell them, like, go to his link on Amazon or Walmart.com. And that's what I put in my hair.
Nice.
Tara, I have no clue why your knife emoji doesn't show up on the chat on screen.
Oh. What happened?
No, on this screen.
Oh. Okay.
I have no clue. But I can give you one.
Hello, murderer. Hello, murderer.
Parker, what's your favorite sport to play?
Probably baseball.
What position?
I play a lot of positions.
Okay.
This weekend I have a tournament in Aztec, and my coach said that I'm going to pitch.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah. What do you have a favorite baseball team?
I like the San Diego Padres.
Okay. Cool. They've been pretty good over the past couple years.
Here's an interesting question for you. If for some reason you wouldn't have any of your own oil, what other company's oil would you use?
Oh, wow. That's a loaded question.
It came from the chat.
And honestly, one that I will continue to use is Joseph over there at Kilt Beard.
Oh, okay.
They do good stuff, and I watched your guys' last live stream with them. Not live, but I watched it after the fact.
Yeah.
I like his spirit. I like their stuff. I bought a couple of bottles of product from them in the past, and I just like the direction that they're heading. If I had one of the role models, so to speak, like those are the guys I look up to. Even after watching his replay of the live stream, I was thinking, how am I going to follow this guy? It's got a lot going on. They're super invested, and they're crushing it. And that's, if I'm looking up to someone in the game, it's companies like that. Just cool, down to earth people that know what they're doing, that enjoy what they're doing, and that put out good products. He puts out a lot of healthy products also. I know they do use a little bit of perfumes and stuff, but there's no garbage in his box for sure.
Mm-hmm. We got another good question by Ray Smoky 20 Spray Ray. Why not offer just one standard blend versus offering different blends in every scent?
Part of that, I mean, for speaking for us here,
Mhm.
is just the fun of it. It's fun to experiment. It's fun to try different things. People have different skin types. Also, some of the oils have super moisturizing effects, and some are a little bit drier. Some can irritate, people that have had acne or psoriasis or eczema. Different types of oils react differently with different skins. So sticking with one, I feel like you could, target a certain group of people, but people would be left out. People that need something different. People have different needs and wants and different opinions and different preferences of fragrances and things like that. So mixing it up, fun on our end, and also beneficial on the consumer's end.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and there's also Dan C talks a lot about cross training your beard, not always using the same blend every day. Your beard starts getting used to that same blend.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have the same reaction.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes changing it up a little bit helps.
Now, I've never made a beard oil, but I imagine different blends add to the scent. Like a carrier oil would carry a scent differently than a different carrier. I don't know.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
You put a sweet almond oil carrier in with a jojoba, it's going to have a little bit of a sweet scent because of that almond. But if you leave the sweet almond out and you just go, say, jojoba and castor oil, you're not going to have any sweetness,
Right.
unless you add a third party scent like a essential oil or a perfume or something to it.
Mm-hmm.
But so yeah, you're exactly right. The different carrier oils even carry their own scent. Like a coconut oil has a unique scent.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. This guy wants to know who's Parker's favorite uncle is.
Uncle Chad.
Oh, sorry, Matt.
We're gonna start fights in here.
Ruthless.
Dynamite wants to know what your favorite dessert is.
Who's Parker's?
Parker's, yeah.
I like ice cream.
Okay. Yep, carrier scent can change, complement of fragrance, depend on refined versus unrefined. Some carriers do carry scent better or longer as well. And Brad wants to know, how long have you been growing a beard, Scott?
So a little backstory on that. So working in the oil and gas industry, there's certain places that you go, certain say like a refinery that you go to, or super big oil and gas companies. They require you to be clean shaven for safety purposes.
Wow.
So you have, a respirator for in case of a gas case or things like that. And I've always worked around oil and gas. So for a long time, I was required by my work to be clean shaven. And then one refinery in particular that we've done a lot of work in over the years, they shut it down several years ago. It's probably been 6 or 7 years ago. So to answer your question, probably about 6 or 7 years. I can't really pinpoint it, but one of the big stepping stones of my beard growth history came from that refinery closing down and me no longer being required to shave for work. So I started letting it grow. And then after a year or two in, then there I was not going to go to a refinery that required me to shave.
Right.
Find someone else to go. But yeah, so 5 or 6 years here, and I don't, let it go crazy, but I don't cut it short. I trim up the sides, but yeah, about 5 years, get you a good beard going on.
And Romy says, believe that heavy castor oils that use EO only carry the scent into the next day. Not sure if castor has to do with that.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
Oh, we're getting
Chad, for being a favorite uncle, he did another super chat.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Thank you. Wow.
We might be able to take a vacation after tonight.
I'm going to need a calculator.
Appreciate that, guys. Oh, there's Kevin. Wow. Thank you so much.
Should I have words with you? You keep this up.
Kev and Chad, you're welcome to our show every week.
Yes.
Antonio wants to know, have you tried beard beads on a regular day, not for a Viking costume?
Beard beads. I have not. I haven't put rubber bands in it, beads in it. I haven't done anything super creative. I do dress up as a pirate occasionally on Halloween. I got a pretty sick pirate get up that I've been collecting stuff over the years, and I have been suggested to put beards or braids or something crazy in it, but I have not. But who knows? The sky's the limit.
Yeah,
you got some good length for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's right, Brad. Jason will be able to take more pole dancing classes of all these super chats.
He's never going to live that down. Amber said she might have to hijack Kev's account.
Yeah. Take his wallet, Amber.
I tried to warn you. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
So is there anything that we haven't covered that you want to tell people about your company, your products, anything?
I mean, we covered it, all the products for sure. The company's not massive. It's just us. So everything was pretty much covered. I mean, other than, our plans going forward, a lot of what we do, a lot of the reasoning for putting this company together. We're not trying to reinvent the wheel. Just trying to put a good set of tires out there, so to speak. But a big part of it's for the youngsters, Parker here and Carter, just getting them to think outside of the box. We're get some work ethics, learn a little bit about economics and commerce, and using creativity to utilize technology and social media to kind of take advantage of the entrepreneur era, that like a capitalist type era that we're living in right now. I mean, there's a lot of good opportunities for the kids coming up that they don't know about yet, but with a little ambition, a little bit of insight, and just being able to utilize things like this live stream right here. I mean, you can do whatever you want to do with your life, just make something happen. You just got to be persistent and consistent. You don't have to take huge steps, just keep taking steps, just for them to move forward. Obviously for me and Melissa, for me and my wife to, retire someday and have a little income and some of a hobby, because I'm going to be an annoying grown up if I retire, man. She's going to be living out here in this man cave. But just that's the structure of the company, is just educate the kids, benefit us as a family. We both work full time, but this is something that, I'm passionate about. It's a good hobby. You get the kids involved. It's family fun. We go to these arts and crafts festivals and just keep moving forward, get bigger and better and spread the health aspects and the skincare aspects of the oils and all of it. It's exciting. It's fun. We're growing. We're not trying to take over the world.
All right. That's awesome though, that you involve the kids in it and teaching them marketing and teaching them handling money. Just make sure you teach them the taxes.
Oh yeah. Well,
that's definitely something you don't learn in school.
You know what I mean? They're not going to teach you about taxes. They teach you very little about economics or how
right.
Right. So you gotta figure it out sometime. Why not have fun with it and make it an adventure?
Yeah.
Well, I think they teach them more now than they taught us about that kind of stuff.
Maybe, I don't know. I know my boys, they didn't know anything about taxes when they graduated. Brad, I don't think it's either. It's a web page. It's a website though. It's not Etsy or Shopify.
Let's just say it's not a Shopify. If I knew now or if I knew then what I know now, I would have had a Shopify site. I do have it's a WooCommerce site. It's through Bluehost, but it's not as user friendly as Shopify. Come to find out, but I just kind of dove in, did a little research on the platforms, but I did not go with Shopify. Shopify is the one that I wish I had now, and I don't know how the transition would work, but I've strongly thought about getting Shopify. But we do have a website. It works. I'm working on it still, but yeah, that's to answer that question. It's not a Shopify.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I keep leaning in trying to read those.
Oh, they're just kind of going back and forth with the purse and stuff like that. So Brad wants to know what your beard would be classified for competition. Have you ever done a beard competition before?
I have not, but I've looked up some pictures and watched a couple of videos. Man, they wouldn't even let me in to watch some of those. Man, those guys have beards down to their knees. Some of those are super wild.
Well, they have different categories based on your length.
Yeah, based on lengths and shapes, and I attend a lot of beard comps. I go cross country to them. They're a lot of fun. I mean, the whole point of it is to raise money for charities, which is a lot of fun. And for most beard comps, you would just, for your type of beard, to just answer Brad's question, I mean, you would be classified in whatever length it is. They measure from the bottom of the lip to the tip of your longest hair. So however long, which I'm guessing yours might be around 8 to 10 inches.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but you would just go into like the 8 to 12 category or 12 to 18 category and basically just get judged.
Yeah, no, it sounds cool because the bearded community in general is cool. It seems like most guys that have beards, not all, but most of them are passionate about something.
Yeah,
and everybody in the bearded community that I'm relatively new to, everybody's super helpful and cool, and they're willing to share advice. And the beard oil companies don't see each other as competitors. They help each other out if. And I don't know if you guys have dealt with them or heard, but that Big Dog Beard Company, him and I don't know the guy, but we've been like Instagram buddies for the past couple of weeks. So
that's awesome.
He likes mine. We're chatting back and forth, telling each other good luck, and it's just so those beard competitions do seem like a lot of fun because the bearded community is pretty fun, pretty laid.
Antonio wants to know, how expensive or difficult do you consider the cost of experimenting prior to launching a final product or scent? Good question.
Well, the cost of experimenting isn't, I wouldn't say, so it's beneficial regardless, because even if you're experimenting and you create a product that you don't think you could sell, you still have that product and you can use it. And if, you can, so it's, buying in bulk, buying bigger amounts of the carrier oils is super, super inexpensive. So if you get a little creative, make something that you don't necessarily like, hand out free samples or just keep it for yourself and use it. But so yeah, I would say experimenting is beneficial. Not super. You're not going to come up with a loss experimenting.
All right. Yeah, thanks, Ray. Kev has heard of Garibaldi category. Trying to get Kev to enter Garibaldi at Worlds. I don't know. Starting to lose faith in him. And yeah, Brad, if Scott didn't have side beard, that would be a goatee. I would consider that. Like if you shaved your sides, that would be a goatee. Yeah. Yeah, Baker, you're right. We all promote each other. And that's what the community is about. And the more active like a beard company is in the community, the more support that they give the community pays them back usually. Like if there's a lot of like the interest goes both ways,
Yeah, no, because naturally we're like that too. If there's a company that does a lot for charity or someone that's,
Right.
being involved in the community, then yeah, absolutely. Go out of your way to support them. And that's cool.
Oh, I forgot to mention, this is the Orkney Island symbol. This right here, this Viking here. Well, Scott, anything else? Mr. Bruce City Scott?
No, I don't think so. Other than I can announce that the Green Bay Packers finally picked a wide receiver in the first round.
Oh!
Really?
Matthew
They
Golden,
actually did something smart for once.
Wow.
wide receiver from Texas.
Wow, that is amazing.
Yeah.
I think last time they actually did something smart in the draft was Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. You might be right.
No, Jordan Love wasn't too bad of a pick either.
Wow. Texas wide receiver. I'm surprised.
I thought he would have been gone before this.
Yeah, we're both Packer fans, by the way.
But otherwise, if no one else has any further questions, we're probably going to wind this one down. But we want to thank Scott and your family for joining us tonight. We appreciate it. Always great to spotlight a new company. And like I told you earlier, tag us in any of your posts, and we'll share them out. Thanks, Kay, for the super chat.
Thank you, Kate. So generous.
Yeah, no, we absolutely appreciate it. Thanks for having me. You guys actually reached out, and that was huge. And like I said, I've watched a lot of your videos. You guys are super interactive. You guys chime in on other people's chats, and you're just super involved, super helpful, and fun. I had fun. Did you have fun?
Yeah.
Parker had fun.
Parker, thanks for coming on the show too. It's
Yes.
really cool that you came on as well. Because you are the backbone, right?
Yup.
You're the backbone.
Who knows?
Yes, we look forward to seeing how you grow your company.
Okay. Well, yeah, we appreciate it. Thanks for all the input. Thanks for all the advice, and just thanks for your time. Thanks for letting us be a part of it, man.
Yeah, and Kev says here, another great show. Looking forward to seeing more of Scotty B.
Cool.
But with that, guys, we are going to call it a night. Respect the journey, y'all, and we will catch you next Thursday for a community show on next Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern.
Awesome. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.